Recorded.
See, 6, 7 programs you studied. First, second, after that, table, time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 programs you studied. Okay, 7 programs. The 7 programs you observe. These all I'll close. Control Shift W. Now, this is Java perspective. I'll close this one. Right click, close. Next window, perspective, open perspective, other Java EE. Open. Now this is Java EE perspective. So servers appears. Now, first program, first you have seen. It is just a plain text. See, right click, run as, run on server. Select the localhost, select the Tomcat version, next, finish. Here, first URL pattern, something test or first I given, test, not there, first I given, I think. First URL pattern, first I given. See, welcome to solids. It's a plain text. This program you have seen. Okay. After this, second program you have seen. Right click, run as, run on server. Here, just HTML code added. HTML code. In second program, just HTML code added. Second, enter. See, HTML code added. Okay. Next, first, second. After that, time. Say time, run as, run on server to display time. To display time. URL pattern I given time. Say time. Next, count I given. Count. Counting number of views. So server is started. That is the reason it shows only one time. It shows one time. Count. One time. If I refresh 2 times, 3 times, see, counting. After this, you studied MIME type. Run as, run on server. Here MIME. See, here MIME type downloaded. Different browser, different type. If you double click, it is stored here. Right click, It is not recognized. Open with Microsoft Word. Like this. Here, welcome displayed. Next we have seen table image. Image run on server. See image. Okay, displaying image. Next you have seen table run on server. Table. Okay. See, this is HTML 500 lines code generated. Okay. These all you have seen. See, 7 programs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 programs you studied. Okay. Now, table program you didn't write, no? Write table program. Write this table program. In 7 programs, we written XML file, web.xml. Now, without XML file possible, I'll show you now. Web.xml we written. It is automatically generated file. Is it over? So this is table program, yesterday program. See, first cell started, first row started. In that first cell, it is second cell, third cell, fourth cell, fifth cell, and row completed. This is 100 times repeated. 100 times repeated. Okay. Is it over? Now, 7 programs you have seen. Basic program. These are 7 basic. Now 8th one also basic only. After that, we'll see programming style I'll change. Solid request, solid response, HTML I'll add. HTML to solid interaction. Okay. Now, after this, next concept, annotations. Note on annotations. Next heading, annotations. Annotations are meta tags that are used to pass some additional information to server about solids, listeners, and filters. Annotations are meta tags that are used to pass some additional information to server about solids, listeners, and filters. The following annotations are used in solids. First one at web solid, second one at web listener, third one at web filter. The above annotations are in Jakarta solid annotation package. The above annotations are in Jakarta solid annotation package. Present, you are learning solid. After learning solids, listeners. After learning filters, the solid, listener, filter all are solids only. Listeners, filters later we'll see. At web solid now. No done. At web solid annotation, use it to specify URL pattern of a solid. At web solid annotation, use it to specify URL pattern of a solid. At web solid annotation, use it to specify URL pattern of a solid. Is it over? Now, instead of XML file, it is alternative. Alternative, you studied in core Java at override, at functional interface annotations you studied, no? There we inform to compiler. There we inform to compiler. Here we are informing to server. Okay. Now, how to use? See. Now, suppose file, new, dynamic web project. Suppose something test. Okay. Next. Now I'm not selecting XML. Okay. Say generate web.xml deployment descriptor. I'm not selecting. Click on finish. After this, right click, new, solid. Here, package name test. Suppose solid class test solid. Here, generic solid. Okay. Next. Here, URL pattern. Something test. Now this URL pattern appears with annotation because I didn't select XML. Okay. Okay. Next. This solid remove. Finish. You observe annotation not came. So I think XML generated again by default. 1 minute. I didn't select XML. Okay, I'll remove here. This solid mapping. I'll remove. Save. Now I removed that solid. Whatever is generated, I removed. Okay. Now test solid. Here I'll write annotation. Here we are write at web solid. Here something test. Here I'm writing URL pattern. See this one line equivalent to that XML. Here print writer. Print writer pw equal to response dot get writer, pw dot println. Welcome. If you want to display HTML, you can add HTML. HTML body BG color, suppose red, text, suppose yellow, level 1 heading. After this, pw dot println, level 1 heading close, body close, HTML close. See, what we written is just here. We written this one at web solid test. If you write, it is called annotation. Now, what we are informing to compiler, this test is a URL pattern of test solid. That is, we are informing to server. Now, you can run. Right click, run as, run on server. Restart the server. See, URL pattern test. Import method, okay. Print writer method, no. Control Shift O. Right click, run as, run on server. Save. See, test. Say welcome. Now XML configuration I removed. Now XML configuration I removed with annotation. This is a concept of annotation. So alternative concept in Solid 3.0 introduced. The above annotations are introduced in Solid's 3.0 version. The above annotations were introduced in Solid 3.0 version. So Solid 3.0 onwards, it is came. That means Tomcat 7. Tomcat 7 onwards came. Tomcat 10 we are using. Tomcat 6 before 6 below. Web.xml only. Later these all came. Now whichever you want you can use. Web.xml also working. Annotations also working. Whichever you feel comfortable, that is you can continue. Now this program note on example. Write example. So this annotation available in annotation package. Or 8 programs, 8 basic programs is studied. Okay. One is plain text, one is HTML text, one is MIME type, one is annotation, one is image. So different you studied, but 8 basics only, very basics. Okay. Next. Is it over? These all very basic programs. Next, write it. The object creation order. The object creation order by web container. The object creation order by web container. First one, servlet context. Second one, user defined servlet. Third one, servlet config. Fourth one, servlet request and servlet response. The object creation order by web container. The object creation order by web container. The object creation order by web container. First, servlet context created. Next, user defined servlet created. Next, config created. Next, request and response created. I'll explain. After that, I'll ask question. You have to give answer. See, we are writing try catch blocks like this. Try catch. Here we are writing exception E. Like this we are writing. Okay. What is E? Object reference. It is just an object reference. Exception class name. E is an object reference. But object reference refers object. Refers object. But here, where is object? Object is not there, no? But where is object? When it is created. We are writing exception E. It will refer object. But only exception E I am writing. But exception object is not there, no? But why we are writing like that? Whenever exception occurs, then object created. Are you creating? No. Who will create? JVM creates. So whenever exception occurs, object created, that object from try block to catch block passed, then catch block will catch. Try block, it is going to try. While executing the code, if exception occurs, control jumps to catch block, then catch block will handle. That's the reason catch, try catch words. So in a try block, task code will be there. In a try block, task code will be there. While executing task code, if any runtime error occurs, then that particular exception class object created, that is passed to catch block, then this will catch. Here also in a service method, what we are writing? Service servlet request, something request, servlet response. We are writing like this. But what is request? Object reference. But where is object? Whenever request comes, creates, like exception E. So we are not creating. Web container creates. Web container creates, it will send. That is you are going to learn now. Now, previous programs, have we used servlet context? No, but servlet context also created. Previous program, have we used servlet config? No, but created. Previous program, have we used servlet request? No. Where we used? Have we written our request dot? No. Servlet response? That is only we used. Response dot get writer, response dot get output stream. We used only response. But in previous program, we have context also, config also, request also. User defined servlet object. First servlet, test servlet, I given names. That object also created. That object created to call lifecycle methods. Now, next write it. Servlet context is created by web container whenever web application is deployed on server. Servlet context is created by web container whenever web application is deployed on server. Servlet context is created by web container whenever web application is deployed on server. While running, run as Java, run on Java server, run on server will select. Then it will shows two boxes from one box to another box shifted. No, that is deploying. While deploying only this is created. While deploying only servlet context created. But what is the purpose of context? I didn't explain. What is the use? What purpose? I didn't explain. But it is created. Servlet context is created by web container whenever web application is deployed on server. So war file, that folder, dynamic web project, that is deployed, no? Then created. Okay. But what is the use of this one? Later we'll see. Next, user defined servlet object is created. By web container whenever first request comes to a servlet. User defined servlet object is created by web container whenever first request comes to a servlet. User defined servlet object is created by web container whenever first request comes to a servlet. When very first request comes, no, then object created. With that object only life cycle methods are called. Write it. Life cycle methods. Life cycle methods are called by using this object only. Life cycle methods are called by using this object only. How many life cycle methods are there? 3. What are those? Init, service, destroy. These 3 called with this object. These 3 called with this object only. So, Soulet context we didn't use. Okay, but user defined Soulet used to call life cycle methods. Okay, next. Soulet config is created by web container whenever init method is called. Soulet config is created by web container whenever init method is called. Soulet config is created by web container whenever init method is called. You already studied init method. When it is called? First request. That means only one time called, one only created. Okay. Next. Soulet request and Soulet response are created by web container for every request. Soulet request and Soulet response are created by web container for every request. Every request created. Soulet request and Soulet response are created by web container for every request. Now I'll ask questions. Give me answer. Say object creation order by web container. Soulet context is created by web container whenever web application is deployed on server. Whenever application copied in server, deployed on server, then it is created. Okay. User defined Soulet. Your Soulet object created by web container whenever first request comes. Config created whenever init method called. Init method also called whenever first request comes. Soulet request, Soulet response. Every request. Now, my question, carefully listen and give answer. One web application which has 10 Soulets. Okay, one web application which has 10 Soulets. For these all, 100 requests came. Now, 100 requests for 10 Soulets. For 10 Soulets, one Soulet, 10 requests, one Soulet, 20 requests, like that. One Soulet, 3 requests, one for Soulet, 4 requests. Total 100 requests for all Soulets including. Now, how many contexts created? One web application which has 10 Soulets. For all Soulets, total 100 requests are there. Now my question, how many Soulet contexts created? How many? One. One only created. One web application deployed. One only created. Okay. Now, how many user-defined solids? How many user-defined objects created? How many? 10. Every solid. Every solid 1. Every solid 1. 10 solids are there. So 10. Every solid 1. Total user-defined solids how many? 10. 10 created. How many solid configs created? How many created? 10 only. For every solid first time. Init method called 10. How many solid request and solid response? 100. Got it? So solid request and response for every request. Suppose 5 web applications are there. 5 web application. In 5 web application, total 20 solids are there. Like 5 web application, 20 solids. In one web application, maybe 2 solid, one web application 3 solid, one web application 4 solid. Let last total number of solids are 20. Total number of requests are 1000 requests. Now, how many contexts created? How many contexts? 5. How many user-defined objects solids created? 20. How many configs created? 20. How many solid request, solid response created? 1000. Clear, no? Suppose one web application which contains only one solid, which contains 100 requests. 100 requests comes to this solid. How many contexts? 1. How many user-defined solid? 1. How many config? 1. How many requests and response? 100. Clear, no? This is creation. This is remember, don't forget. Okay. Now first year, this is only you learn, but this is not completed. This is not completed. This is not completed. This is for calling life cycle methods. Now first, next heading, request parameters. Request parameters. Write it. Each request parameter contains name and value pair. Each request parameter contains name and value pair. Request parameters can be retrieved by using solid request. Request parameters can be retrieved by using solid request. For example, it is login.html. Here, username, password, submit. Now, for this box, one name will write in HTML program. For this box, one name will write. Suppose your name. Here, you may write P word, something. Okay. Now, here you'll type some username. Suppose ABC. You'll type XYZ, some user password. Okay. Now, these two are called labels. for user understanding purpose. So labels. Here, what he has to enter, with this only you'll understand, no? Now only two boxes appears. First box username, second box password. How will understand? With this only. With this only you'll understand, no? If these labels are not there, how will understand which is username, which is password? That purpose, these labels. Okay. For this box, one name we have to write. It will not appears in a browser. For this box, one name you have to write. These two are called request parameter names. Request parameter names. Whatever you are typing, ABC, XYZ, these two are called request parameter values. Request parameter values. Okay. Now, whenever you click on submit button, Solid program is going to execute. That program will receive these two. Write this one. So it is one sample page. So whatever you are displayed in the browser address bar, no, those are called labels. But these two not displayed. Identification, solid program purpose required. In the program will write. These two displayed. Request parameter values. Name if you pass value comes. How to get? I'll show you. When I click on submit button, solid program executed. The solid program will receive your username and password. Then it will communicate with database. Given username, password is there or not, it has to check that purpose. Is it over? No done. To receive request parameters from HTML page, we use the following methods of jakarta.solid request interface. To receive request parameters from HTML page, we use the following methods of solid request interface in solid program. What we use, I'll explain. Is it over? Here, 4 methods are there. I'll give 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. First one, I'll remove package name. Second one, what is this diamond operator? Square bracket, angular brackets, generic type. Yeah. Third one, fourth one, right is all. Just now, one login form I given. Just now, one login form I given. In that form, how many request parameters are there? How many? 2. What are the names? Uname, P-word. Uname, P-word I given. Okay, names. What I given? Uname, P-word. That name, if you pass here, that value comes here. Here, uname if you pass, ABC comes. Here, P-word if you pass, XYZ comes. So, when you click on submit button, Servlet program called. In that Servlet program, uname you have to pass. Whatever you enter in that box, that value comes. P-word you have to write. Whatever you enter, that password comes. With this first method, we can receive. Okay. Suppose that is login form. In a login form, only uname, P-word will be there. Username, password. Registration form. First name, last name, address, mobile number, mail ID. So many fields will be there. If it is naukri.com, jobsite.com registration form, if you open, 2-3 pages will be there. Okay. Suppose naukri.com, if you want to register your name, nearly 30-40 fields you have to enter. Okay, 30-40 fields. Then this line, how many times you have to call? 30 times. First name, last name, address, mobile number, mail ID. Every parameter you have to call. This method, if you use 30 times, you have to call. But instead of using this method, if you use get parameter names, all will be comes as a collection, enumeration. Core Java collections you studied, no? Enumeration. All names, if 30 fields are there, 30 names it comes with enumeration. We can iterate, no? Enumeration has more elements. Next element methods are there, no? With that method, one by one we can iterate. That is with collection. Here name you can pass, value comes. So if we call get parameter names, all names comes. With that one by one we can iterate. We can pass in a loop. We'll get all values. This is we can use. Second option. One more option. This is map. Get parameter map. Name also comes, values also comes. Every request parameter name value automatically comes. But why this get parameter values? Suppose if it is list box will be there, no, like this. Here scroll bar appears. Here list box, many items will be there, many items. Suppose it is hobbies. Okay, now it is hobbies box. Like playing chess, reading books, playing cricket, watching movies, like that we'll write so many. You can select more than one also. Here not only one item, more than one item you can select. But first method, if you call, one value only comes. That's what the third method you have to call. Get parameter values. It is hobbies. Then all hobbies comes. Whatever you selected, multiple values. So list box is there. You can select more than one item. In that situation, get parameter values. By mistake, get parameter, if you write, first item only comes. Program works, one only comes. So multiple selection is there. Get parameter values you have to call. Single selection is there. Get parameter you have to call. Otherwise, if we call this method, everything comes automatically. Map. It is two-dimensional collection, no? Map, key value pairs. Like this. Now, automatically, roll number, name. Like say, registration form, first name, field name, last name, address, mobile number, mail ID, everything like a map. It will come. But how to iterate map? That is two-dimensional collection. How to iterate map? In Core Java is studied. I taught two-dimensional collections. How to iterate? Program also I taught. Two-dimensional collection, map, hash map, linked hash map, tree map. That is iterating I taught, no? How we can iterate it? First two-dimensional collection, we converted into one-dimensional. The one is given. Two-dimensional collection, we have to convert into one-dimensional. We convert into set. After set, with iterator. After that, key value pair. Map.entry. Map.entry. Entry is in inner interface of map interface. That program also I taught. You forgot, I think. Map.entry program. collections, 30 plus collections I taught. 30 plus collections. Array list, linked list, linked asset, tree set, dash map, linked dash map, tree map, and priority queue, array deck, list, set, set, and these all sorted map, navigable map, queue, deck, enumeration, vector, hash table, date. These all you studied, no? All collections, 30 plus collections I taught. So two-dimensional collection, you have to convert into one-dimensional. After converting, you have to use iterator. With iterator, one by one key value pair you can iterate. That is if you want to store key map dot entry inner interface of map interface required. This is if you are perfect in collection, then only you can write. Otherwise, this is not possible. That is one program I taught, complete program. Okay, that program required for this one. But this is what is the benefit with this one is even 100 fields also with the simple code we can iterate. Code less number of lines, but code complicated. Code complicated only, less number of lines, very less number of lines we can iterate. Just in a 5 lines we can iterate. Even 100 fields also. But if you use any other, it will take many lines. If you use this one, very less number of lines. But code is complicated. We have 4 options. This is easiest is first one. First one very easy. Only name if you pass, value comes. Name if you pass, value comes. But 30 fields are there, 30 lines you have to write. 20 fields are there, 20 lines you have to write. But if you use second one or third one, second one or fourth one, less number of lines. It is complicated, it is little bit easy. Okay, now for receiving request parameters from HTML page, these all the methods are there. Okay, how to use these all methods, how to write program, we'll see on Monday. Okay, so Monday onwards programming style little bit changed. That 8 programs almost same type you have seen. From here onwards somewhat different. We'll see continuation on Monday. Two-dimensional program already posted in Google Classroom. Tomcat configuration error means you mail to my mail ID. Mail to my mail ID. 1 minute wait online friends. A two-dimensional program in Google Classroom. Okay, I'll post. Next, Pallavi. What you are getting error? Only configuration error means without knowing error, I cannot understand. No? Otherwise, mail to my mail ID. Yesterday class notes I uploaded today evening. Up to today class I uploaded. What is the definition? Hemant. Request parameter means for request related parameters are called request parameter. Suppose hall ticket number or username password. What you are requesting, that parameter is called request parameter. Yeah, Sunday I'll give a replay tomorrow. That Sanjit, by default HTTP will take. That's what that will come like that. In real time, XML also used, annotations also used. Both are used. Prithvi, yeah, you can apply. Print writer method, can we write tags, comment and comment in a same line? You can write, Ashutosh, you can write. 5 web application, 20 servlets possible in a one rather. 5 web application, in each web application 5-6 servlets also we can write. So Monday onwards more than one servlet will write. We'll see. Yeah, Muhammad Itesham. Wherever Jakarta I given notes, there you write Java X. That's it. Mabu Pasha. Multiple tables in a single program. Possible. Possible. With the HTML frames possible. Pallavi. My mail ID every day I'm giving. No. This is my mail ID. This is my mail ID. Next, Pravi, P Ravi or Pravi. Eclipse for Java EE. I given notes. You can check it out. Prithvi, you can apply. You can apply. Sometimes with only core Java knowledge also you'll get it. Yeah, Shirisha. I said this answer already told. After opening program, here you can remove solid interface. Here also you can remove. Harish, one more alternative concept introduced, that is annotations. Shirisha, this is my mail ID. GDK11 MIA3. MIA3. Tomcat 10 port number is not connected. Change to 8082 only. Don't change to 8084 9090. Still, if you are getting problem, mail to my mail ID. I'll give admin number, system admin number. Double one, double two, double three. I'll post notes. Lakshman Rao, we don't have a speakers here. And also it is not one-to-one session to unmute. No, we don't have speakers also because this is desktop. We don't have a camera, we don't have a speaker. Prithvi, same question repeatedly you are asking. Already I told. Krishna Gupta, data structures and algorithms, just check it website or a contact admin. Only URL pattern I supplied in this case. Yes, that is different annotations are there. We will see further. Shirisha, if it is not possible to remove, open editor. In the editor, you remove. In a class, here implements appears. Here you can remove. Here appears. After class, after extends, after generic solid appears. There you can remove. Umesh, yeah, you can join. We'll see continuation on Monday.